Trigger warning, horrific details of Rankin County Sheriff's Department torture from an army of monsters. Deputies included in this torture are former Undersheriff Paul Hawley, current Undersheriff Roger Chad Thorton, Brett McAlpin, Christian Debman, James Rayburn, Cody Grogan, Stephen Williams, Jeffrey Middleton, and Luke Stigman. Fasten your seatbelt and hold on tight. Deputies raided the home of Jerry Manning and his friend Gary Curo was visiting. They told all the men that were gathered there to get on the ground. When Curo walked into the room, a deputy threw him to the ground, handcuffed him, and they kicked him and tased him. Curo told deputies that he recently had surgery on his back. Officer pulled up his shirt, jammed his boot right into the surgery scar, pulled him up by his neck with a belt, in a position that was just excruciating pain. Curo then told those deputies that he was a decorated veteran, and they told him that he was no veteran and he ought to be ashamed of himself. Now over in a bedroom, deputies placed Jerry Manning's legs under a bed. They kicked the bedpost legs out, pinning his legs onto the floor with the bed on top. While they repeatedly tased him in the genitals, torso, and temples, the deputies then told Manning that they'd just gotten new tasers, so they wanted to know which one hurt worse. The deputies then placed blue jeans around his face and repeatedly started punching him. They then dragged him into the kitchen and used a blowtorch to melt the handle of a nutcracker, dripping molten metal onto Manning's thigh. Brett McAlpin then drew a swastika on the forehead of Manning. You can see that up in his mugshot. Under McAlpin's orders, one of the deputies pushed Manning up against a chair, holding his neck up by a belt. The officer then stood on the chair, pulling the belt up. He thought he was going to lose his life. He was hanging by his own body weight. In another room, deputies handcuffed Adam Porter and asked him where the drugs were, and that's enough of this torture. This is just too much. There's many deputies here. This torture is excruciating to tell and hear, but the story must be told, and the people must know what these monsters did and did for years. This happened in Pearl, Mississippi in 2018 under the leadership of Sheriff Lion Brian Bailey. Yo, Dre, I've got something to say.